Houston, we have a problem. Hello everyone, Larry Satchwell here, and if you were one of the 30 people that watched my last garden update a couple weeks ago and were watching until the end, you may have noticed that I mentioned I had bad tomato plants, bad leaves on tomato plants. They just weren't growing. The same thing happened with the potatoes. Well, I think I've discovered the problem. Last summer, the weeds were really bad in the pasture down here. So I sprayed it with a herbicide. Come to find out, that herbicide will last in the soil for 18 months. So I covered and mulched these tomato plants with the goat manure. Well, the goat manure contained the herbicide. Same thing happened in the potato patch here. This potato bucket only has composted horse manure and goat manure from last summer, which contained the herbicide. It's too late for me to replant potatoes, but I can replant these tomatoes, and that's the plan today. I'm going to pull all this mulch back and start with new soil. Go down to the greenhouse and consult with Billy Ray, my expert gardener, master gardener, and see what he suggests. Those potatoes should look like this, the ones in the uncontaminated soil growing up in my strawberry patch. I'm back. It's day 2. I took my plant down, this plant, down to the greenhouse and showed Billy Ray. He just shook his head in disbelief. And since I had gotten all of my plants out of there, they kind of stopped watering them and taking care of them, and I don't blame them. So the plants I got down there are kind of sorry looking. And it looks like I could have a very limited tomato crop this year. So here's the plan on at least a few of them. This was the worst plant, so I know that this soil here is contaminated. The problem is, if I were to go buy pots and soil, it would cost more than just going to the farmer's market and buying a bushel of tomatoes. So I've got a few of these buckets. Boy, that fits nice. I'm going to go to other spots of the garden where I know the soil isn't contaminated and plant my tomatoes in here. And here's what I mean by they didn't look real good. But you know, I think that if I plant this deep, that it's going to come out of it. Now, I could be wrong. Got great roots on it. In fact, it's really root bound, and sometimes I've read that that can actually stunt the tomato forever. But that's going to be right there. This part of my driveway collects soil. There's actually about a foot, maybe 18 inches of soil on top of some concrete right here, and this soil is really rich. It's basically composted leaf mulch. Is that good looking stuff or what? I also stopped by Ace this morning and got some fresh new straw. It's a warm day. I don't know if that'll work, but that's all I got. In the meantime, the rest of the garden is doing great. Looking good. Radishes are done. I've got lettuce planted. There's a little beetle on my spinach. He's enjoying that, but it's gone. We've had so many meals off of that. I need to thin the carrots and start feeding those to the horse. He'll be back after his horse show this week. These are the onions that we're using as green onions, and this is my main onion crop. When they start bending over like this, they're done. And I think I got these in a little bit late because they really haven't balled up very well. Pickling cucumbers over here. That one's getting a little bit too big to pickle, but it'll be in my salad. These greens are looking really wilted today because we haven't had rain for about a week, which is really unusual. And it's getting too hot for them. A couple strawberries coming up in here in the pea patch. And these potato plants are healthy. Look at that strawberry. This is full of them. My wife picked them yesterday. They need to be picked again today. Okra's looking good. You know, I've never grown okra in all my life, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. Corn's coming along, so are the peppers. A couple more squash over here and a zucchini. At any rate, I'm going to wrap it up here.